Throughout most of the draft process, I have had Anthony Edwards as my number one guy in this draft. However, once I started watching LaMelo's tape, it moved Edwards from the clear top guy to Anthony Edwards is in a 1A, 1B with LaMelo, and while I continued to watch tape, one thing became very clear to me. LaMelo Ball wasn't just the best player in this draft, he was an elite prospect in general. And today I want to talk about LaMelo Ball and why I believe he is such a special prospect. And he isn't just a guy that is considered so highly because he's an elite draft. He would be considered an elite prospect in a lot of previous draft classes and future draft classes as well. But before we do get into today's video, if you're new, like the NBA, WNBA, high school, college, really if you like basketball in general, I really think that you would love this channel. So if you aren't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I upload on a new daily basis. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So liking, subscribing, doing all those things, commenting as well, it'll be a big help to me to reach those goals. But with that being said, let's talk about LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is a 6'7", 180-pound point guard from Chino Hills, California. He's the younger brother of former first-team All-American top 2 pick and current New Orleans Pelicans starting point guard Lonzo Ball and Oklahoma City Blue guard LiAngelo Ball. And LaMelo might end up being the best of the three. As of right now, he's the only prospect in this draft with a 98 grade, which also means that he happens to be the highest graded prospect in this draft for me. He would play for the Israeli Hawks of the NBL. In 12 games, he averaged 17 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game on 37.5% from the field and 25% from 3. On November 25th, he became the youngest player to ever record a triple-double with 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. He was named NBL Rookie of the Year, and of course is declared for the 2020 NBA Draft, where I believe he is the best prospect. And the first thing I want to talk about is his growth and development as a player. This LaMelo Ball you see now is not the same LaMelo Ball you saw at Chino Hills, or in Lithuania, or in the JBA. That LaMelo Ball was a shot-checking guard that scored a lot of points due to the volume of shots he was taking. This is a different LaMelo Ball. He's more patient, he doesn't force shots as much, he looks to get his teammates involved, he has elite court vision, runs an offense well. It's like watching two completely different players. And of course, this all starts with his passing, which is of course very clearly the biggest asset in his game. LaMelo Ball might be the best passing prospect I have ever evaluated. He checks off all the boxes you look for in an elite passer: elite court vision, great pass accuracy, passes well when he's stationary and off the dribble. He's good as a passer in transition and in the half court. He passes well in the pick and roll and pick and pop. He passes well with both his left and right hand. He's a good ball handler. He uses his gravity to his advantage, and what I mean by that is he knows he's the best offensive player on the floor. He knows he draws the most attention as a defender. When he draws help defenders, he knows someone is open or has an easier look at a shot, and more times than not, he finds that open man. One thing I believe people don't understand about LaMelo though is he is a very good decision maker as a passer. He only has a 2.72 assist to turnover ratio, which is really good for a player who's only 18 years old in a professional league. For some perspective, that's better than Trae Young, Ben Simmons, and Luka Doncic. And while it's not completely fair to compare NBL to NBA competition, the fact that LaMelo Ball had a really good assist to turnover ratio, despite not playing with the best of teammates, is impressive, and should honestly remove any doubt about his decision making. Also, because he's 6'7" with a point guard skills and a great handle, he's able to serve a defense and is a good rebounder for a guard. However, it's not all good with LaMelo. He's not a good shooter at all. However, unlike his brother Lonzo, it's not like LaMelo doesn't have the confidence to shoot. He has had that kind of mentality as a shooter his entire life, and it's something I doubt will ever go away. And the thing is, I don't think it has a lot to do with his ability to take shots and create off the dribble. It has more to do with his shot mechanics than anything. Because off the dribble, he can create space, use his step backs, things like that. but his shot mechanics are just so bad that I can't find a word to really describe them. They're just as bad as his brother's shot mechanics, right? And the thing is, I think he can fix it. Look at what Lonzo did. Lonzo tweaked his shooting for him, and now all of a sudden, he's shooting 37.7% from 3, which is above league average, and he's doing it on 6.4 attempts, which is a decent volume for a point guard. And I think if LaMelo tweaks his shot the way Lonzo has, he can see improvement as a shooter as well. And what makes it even more scary is the fact that LaMelo is doing this at a higher volume already. So if he improves and tweaks his jump shot to the point where his efficiency goes up, and he's a guy that's shooting 37.7 to 38, maybe even 40% from 3 on like 8 or 9 attempts, that's going to be scary. But another thing that I think could take LaMelo's game to the next level is adding weight. He weighs around 181 pounds right now, which isn't actually as bad as you would think, honestly. I do think he will fill out his frame eventually, because his frame looks like it hasn't filled out yet. But it's clear that the weight has been a problem as far as his play now. He's not a good finisher around the rim, doesn't draw a lot of fouls, doesn't even handle contact that well. This is why he doesn't even attempt to be aggressive when driving a lot. He only takes 4 free throw attempts a game. This isn't as big of a concern to me because I do think that A, LaMelo's really young, he's only 18 years old, and B, he grew quickly, which means that I believe the weight will eventually catch up. So I do think once those things happen, like his frame does fill out, and he continues to put the work in the gym, I do believe that he will be able to handle contact well. He will draw fouls at a higher rate. He will be a better finisher at the rim. And I wouldn't be shocked if he's around 200 to 205 pounds throughout most of his playing career. But again, that's another thing. If he improves on that, it will take his game to the next level. The one thing that I don't know if is fixable is defense. He has all the physical tools to play defense. Long arms, taller for a point guard as well. He's decently athletic, not a great athlete, but a good athlete. But he's not a good defender, and that has a lot to do with mentality, I believe. He's taking plays off on defense, or he's risking, a steal in the passing lane, and he's gambling too much. I do think that he can be a net neutral to even an above average defender, but I do think, again, it's a big concern. A lot of it has to do with his mentality. Can he do that? That's something he'll have to do. Like the shooting, it's on him, but I think he's already working on improving that. The frame, that will fill out eventually as he continues to grow. But I do think defense is something that personally he needs to improve on, and I don't know if he will improve on. And the thing about LaMelo is, I believe that people have this perception that he's some risky, high-risk, high-reward prospect, and I don't think that's the case at all. The flashy highlights tell the story of a selfish player or a bad decision maker, but the tape and the numbers tell a different story to me. The tape and numbers tell the story of an unselfish playmaker who makes smart decisions and has the confidence to shoot the basketball. I think LaMelo Ball could be a player that puts up Trae Young and Luka Doncic kind of numbers. I think his ceiling is an MVP caliber player that can be the face of a franchise. But a lot of things do have to go right for him to become that kind of player. But it's also not like he's some sort of risk just because a lot of things have to go right for him to reach his ceiling. Because he does have a high floor. Just based off his passing alone, he will be in the NBA for a long time. He's one of the most gifted passers I've ever seen. At worst to me, he's a guy that's going to put up 10, 6, and 6 while making those around him better. My gut feeling is he ends up somewhere in the middle of his ceiling and his floor. But if he goes to the right team, gets the right coaching, gets the right development people, he can become a superstar. He can become an MVP caliber player. He can put up 25 plus points per game, 7 plus rebounds per game, and 10 plus assists per game. He can be that kind of player. But again, a lot of those things have to go right. And I still think, regardless of if he reaches the ceiling, he's still going to be at least a good player. Unless a team that has an established point guard is picking first overall, I don't see how any team could pass up on a chance on this special talent. But if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, do all those things. If you haven't already, of course, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And it means a lot if you made it to this point in the video. I know this is a bit longer than usual, but again, have a wonderful day. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me, guys. You guys don't understand. But again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to leave feedback in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.